με τις ομότητες, τις λαιλασίες, τους βιασμούς γυναικών κάθε ηλικίας, από 12 μέχρι 70 χρόνων. Με τις ομαδικές εκτελέσεις αμάχων, οι Τούρκοι εξανάγκασαν 220.000 Έλληνες να εγκαταλείψουν τις εστίες τους, προσφυγοποιώντας έτσι το 1 τρίτο του ελληνικού πληθυσμού της Κύπρου.
Σκοτώσαν το γιο του 14 χρόνων. Μάνα μου, πώς δεν να φανούν ακόμα, δεν να φανούν ακόμα. Σαν να πέφτει ο Γιώργης του Πέτρου μες στο κρεβάτι να σκοτώσαν το. Και μια γερόντι στον άλλη την ουρανία να σκοτώσαν. Σκοτώσαν τους. Σκοτώσαν τους για να καθούνταν νεύα στο κρεβάτι.
Πόσο χρόνο είναι?
80 χρονών.
Και σκοτώσαν τους πας στο κρεβάτι.
75, 80, έτσι λέει από το πια δυο χρόνια πάνω τους αναόραψε και με αφήναν να ρέξω να τους δω. Και πήγαινε ο άντρας μέχρι και βρήκε και τους δυο νεκρούς. Πώς να τράβεις τις μανάδες να την αγκάλαμε του. Πώς να τράβεις τις μανάδες από μάνα μου. Ο φράτ πηγαίνει η μάνα μου και η μάνα μου να πεχανίσει. Μάνα μου, δεν πεχανίσκουμε μάνα μου, δεν πεχανίσκουμε. Θα πάνε το νεύρο. Ήταν λιλαρός, ήταν πολλά αμαρφό, την να πάνε να φτωχά. Τώρα δεν είναι αυτό την αμά, και μια Αγία Κρεφτανή, και χρυσάφικα Κρεφτανή, είναι μαμά. Τι κάνετε μαμά.
On the 21st of August 1974 in ΑΣΣΙΑ, and I am from ΑΣΣΙΑ, the Turks from Turkey came and took us out of our houses to gather us together. On the way, while walking, I saw two Turkish military vehicles. On them were 30 or 35 civilians with their hands tied behind their backs. I know them all well since we are from the same village, and until today they are all missing. The Turks entered ΑΣΣΙΑ on the 14th of August 1974. I was in the village until the 21st of August. On the 21st of August, about 10 o'clock in the morning, Turkish soldiers, helped by the Turkish Cypriots Kamil Yakub and Ahmed Arif, forced us out of our houses and collected us in the village square. There, they separated women, children, and the old ones in one side, and the rest of us in the other side. I, together with 107 others, was tied up. They left us in the village square for 2 hours. Then, they loaded us into 3 lorries and took us to ΑΣΣΙΑ village. Left us there for about 2 hours, and then took us away. At the time when they were taking us away, there were among us Theodulos Solomi from Afania, who used to be a rural constable. A Turkish Cypriot who came from the same village as Theodulos took him down from the lorry. Theodulos Solomi is missing until today. From ΑΣΣΙΑ, they brought us to Nicosia to Pavlidis garage. There, the Turkish Cypriot officer Ali Riza climbed upon the car with the 2 Turkish soldiers, searched the younger ones, and ordered us to come down from the lorry. Those of us who stayed at Pavlidis garage counted ourselves, and we were 37. About 70 people must have remained on the lorries. Since when we counted ourselves at Ayakepir, there were 107 of us. I heard the Turkish officer give an order to return the 70 who remained on the car to ΑΣΣΙΑ. We remained in prison in Pavlidis garage until the 11th of September 1974. Then they took us to Turkey and released us on the 20th of October 1974. When I returned to Cyprus, I heard that my 70 fellow villagers who remained on the lorries had not been seen since.
The village of ΑΣΣΙΑ is one of many where enclaved Greek Cypriots were arrested by Turkish forces after the fighting stopped. ΑΣΣΙΑ had not been the scene of fighting during the coup or during the Turkish invasion. It had been taken without resistance on the first day of the Second Turkish Offensive, on the 14th of August, 1974. 7 days later, on the 21st of August, 70 inhabitants of the village had been taken away in lorries by Turkish troops. Evidence like this is important. The Turkish authorities argue that there are no missing persons, that those who have not returned to their homes were killed during the coup or during the Greek Cypriot resistance to what Turkish governments like to call the peacekeeping operation. There is no need, they argue, for international agencies to search for missing Greek Cypriots. But in ΑΣΣΙΑ there was no fighting. That is why the Cyprus government and the relatives of those who are missing began a systematic collection of evidence. A file was opened for each of the missing, lists of their names, photographs, anything which could shed some light on the fate of these people. After all, some of them had been heard identifying themselves and speaking from the Turkish Cypriot radio stations.
These are my husband's old passports, the new passport he was carrying with him. We had the flag of the United States on our house. The Turks came on the 14th of August, but did not molest us. On the 21st, they took us all out of our house together. They searched us, and then they took us up to the village square. There they separated the men, took them, put them in buses, and took them away. We did not know where they were taking them. I have a daughter who is about to be married, and I don't have the means which are necessary. I have another 2 children who go to secondary school. I have difficulties because it is all my responsibility. What can I do, a woman alone with 7 children whom I must look after? I am sick from the worry and cannot work properly. We look everywhere to find some news of my husband, but no one gives us a reply. I ask for help from anyone who can help us to find anything at all about him.
Παντού ψάχνουμε για να ακούσουμε τίποτε, δεν ή κανένας καμιά απάντηση, ούτε αν τον είδαν, ούτε που ευρέθηκε, ούτε τίποτε. Έτσι ζητούμε τη βοήθεια εμείς που κάποιους άλλους που μπορούν να μας βοηθήσουν τίποτε να ακούσουμε κάτι, τα λόγου τους. Τίποτε, καμιά απάντηση. Επιάσαν από το σπίτι μας 5 δικούς μας, τον άντρα μου 50 χρονών.
They took away 5 people from our house. My husband, who is 50 years old, my elder son, who is 23. He's a student at Moscow, and he came back for the vacations. My other son, Yanaki, who is 18 years, Andonakis, who is 16, and my son-in-law, who is 26. When the Turks entered our house, it was about 1:30 p.m. I don't know why. They fired in there, and a cousin of mine was injured. When we all went out, they asked us about various things. A bus came up, but we could not all get in, and they took only the men. They put us, the women, in another car. A family from Githrea was with us. Their son was 15 and the father was 35. Also two cousins of mine, one of 12, another of 14. The one who is 14 was injured. We don't know whether they took him to a doctor. Then they took us, the women, to Mora and set us free after 4 days. We know nothing about the men of our family up to now. They were arrested 2 days after the war ended. They were well in the house with us until then, but we do not know what they have done to them since then.
Εκείνο που έχει ιδιαίτερη σημασία για μας είναι ότι τους δικούς μας επιάσαν τους 2 μέρες μετά τον πόλεμο και ήταν όλοι καλά στο σπίτι μαζί μας ως εκείνη την ώρα. Μετά που τους επιάσαν, έβαλαν τους σε έναν αυτοκίνητο. Από τότε δεν ξέρουμε τι τους έκανα.
Τώρα μένουμε 9 άτομα στην Τσακιλερή, Ραδίπου.
9 of us are now living at Chakileri near Aradipu. My father, my husband, my sister's husband are missing and we are alone. When the Turkish forces entered our village at the 14th of August, the Turks did not come to our house. After 2 days, on the 16th, without there being any fighting or any resistance, they came to our house and took our men away. They took my father and my husband, also the husband of my cousin and their son. They put them in a car and went away.
Από τότε δεν ξέρουμε πού βρισκούνται.